For a limited time, you have the opportunity to earn 120,000 Chase Ultimate Rewards points when you sign up and get approved for the Inc. Business Preferred Card. To earn those points, all you've got to do is spend $8,000 in the first 3 months from opening your account, making this current offer the highest it's ever been in history. Pro tip, you don't need to have an LLC or corporation in order to get a small business card from Chase. You can actually apply just with your social security number as a sole proprietor. That's actually how I got mine. Now, to understand why this offer is so great, check this out. Imagine you have 120,000 points freshly minted into your account after meeting the spend requirement. What are these actually worth and what value can they provide to you? Well, for cashback here, that is going to be 1 cent per point. So $1,200 that you can basically use for whatever you like. Then if you decide to redeem for travel via the Chase Travel Portal, your value actually increases by 25% here. So you'll actually get $1,500 of value through that portal, and you'll notice a little plus sign there, meaning there's potential for even higher value. Allow me to show you how this works. Chase has this really cool feature called Transfer Partners, where you're allowed to take your Chase points and transfer them out to partner programs. Here are the current airline transfer partners that Chase has, whether it's Aer Lingus, Air Canada, British Airways, so on and so forth, all the way down through Virgin Atlantic. Then on the hotel front, we have IHG One Rewards, Marriott Bonvoy, and World of Hyatt. But once you go to a different program, the values can be totally different. So let's run through a couple different examples here. Starting off first here with the World of Hyatt program. I literally went to the Hyatt website, searched for a few hotels in Hawaii, and the first 3 that came up here in the area were the Grand Hyatt Kauai Resort and Spa, the Hana Maui Resort and Spa, and the Hyatt Regency Maui Resort and Spa. And it shows you here how many points are required per night, and then the cash rate directly underneath that. So option 1 there at the top with the Grand Hyatt was 35,000 points per night, and on average, the cash rates are about $990. Then below that, we've got 30,000 points for a $772 night. And thirdly, 35,000 points for a $684 night. Now, doing some basic math to figure out what is the value of 1 point to cover these cash rates, the first option was 2.83 cents per point. Secondarily, we have 2.57 cents per point, and third, 1.95 cents per point. Putting this in the context of the welcome offer, let's say you had the 120,000 points at this value per point, that would make the offer for you worth $3,396 for option A, $3,084 for option 2, and $2,340 for option 3. Or stated more simply, this could give you a 3 to 4 night Hawaiian vacation, pretty much all on points here, and saving thousands of dollars in cash in your bank account. By the way, if you want to learn more about any of the cards mentioned in this or in other videos, check out my site, markscreditcards.com/offers, to see a bunch of them organized by category. That way it's easy for you to find the ones that interest you the most. Want to see an even higher value for your Chase points? I thought so. Here's another example. This time we'll check out a flight, but a flight in luxury. We'll be going business class from Los Angeles all the way over to Hong Kong on Singapore Airlines. We're going to depart here at 14:20 or 2:20 p.m. from the West Coast and arrive in Hong Kong a couple days later at 11:20. You'll notice on the right side here that the one-way flight to get over there is 141,000 Singapore Air KrisFlyer miles at their saver rate. Now, let's see what the actual cash rate is if instead you decide to pay for it. That would be, for the same flight, $4,395. So taking that cash rate of $43.95 and comparing it to the 141K miles, we do our basic math here to see what 1 mile would then be worth. That would be 3.12 cents per mile. And a flight like that could be yours with just the welcome offer alone and meeting the spend requirement. So 120,000 points plus 8,000 or more just from spending $8K on the card. That's 128,000 miles. You would just need 13,000 more points on Chase to then transfer over to Singapore Airlines on a one-to-one basis, and that flight's a done deal. Now, just for a full comparison here, let's look at the same exact flight, but this time booking through the Chase travel portal. In other words, avoiding having to transfer to Singapore after you make a Singapore account and then booking on the Singapore website. This one, we're just going to go right through Chase and use points directly at checkout. So here's that same flight. Chase's price is $44.83, where it was $43.95 on Singapore's site. So what is that, about $88 or so more? And then look over here. As you're about to begin the full checkout process, you can either spend the $44.83 in cash by charging it to your card, or spending 358,638 Chase Ultimate Rewards points. Remember what we just saw earlier. You could have the same flight for just 141,000 points. In other words, less than half. So this value through Chase gives you 1.25 cents per point instead of 3.12. Now, that higher 3.12 cent per point value can be totally variable based on when you booked that Singapore flight. It could be different, meaning more points or more value, or less points or value at different times, like based on seasonality, demand for travel, all that type of stuff. Also the cabin that you decide to choose. Boiling that down to its simplest form, the best way to, of course, book any type of travel is to compare. I would look at the price directly through the Chase portal at 1.25 cents per point with this card and seeing what I can get out of that, versus transferring out to United, Singapore, Aeroplan, whatever other program, and seeing what those airlines charge in their points or in their miles. Whichever option requires the fewest number of points to be able to redeem is the option I'll go with. For all my visual people out there, here's a nice little chart that I made for you all showing the main types of redemption options here and the point value there in the middle column, at least on an average basis with transfer partners. Again, because those are so variable, you might get more or less than the 3 or 2 cents per point that I showed you earlier. That was more on the maximized side. But on average, I'd say 1.7 cents per point, 1.25 for the portal. Also, Chase has a feature called Pay Yourself Back, which is basically getting a statement credit to offset certain purchases that you make. Right now, it's just one option for select charities. That redemption option is valid through the end of September 2024, unless Chase extends it further, or perhaps they might change it at that time, because these current promotions may also be variable with different categories. So if you want to see which charities are available to donate to, here is the current list. Feel free to freeze this and look them over if you like. All right, now let's take a look at the value that the card can give you long term if you decide to keep it, and many of you probably will want to do so. This card will award you 5 points per dollar on Lyft rides through March 2025, triple points on travel, advertising, internet, cable, and phone, as well as shipping, and then 1x on all of your other purchases. Just understand that those triple point categories are capped on the first $150,000 of combined spend across all of them with each account anniversary year. If you spend more than that, it's just 1x until it refreshes the next account anniversary year. And in today's world of ever increasing annual fees, this one is still at just $95 per year. Additionally, if you're wondering what counts as travel with Chase, fortunately it's very wide open in terms of what will actually work to trigger the 3 points per dollar. Whether it's airlines, hotels, motels, timeshares, the list goes on. It's even cool to see things like discount travel sites, campgrounds, and other stuff that many other cards do not count as eligible. Also some exclusions down there at the bottom. Feel free to pause this to read them over a bit more leisurely. Moving along to the main benefits of the card, we have first access to transfer partners, which I showed you in the intro of the video, how you can get so much value out of those. That's a big benefit here because a lot of Chase's no annual fee cards, like the Freedom branded cards, do not give you access to transfer partners. You must have the Inc. Business Preferred or another personal card with an annual fee like the Chase Sapphire Preferred or Chase Sapphire Reserve to give you access to those. Same here with the Points Boost feature, which gives you 25% more value for travel via Chase Travel compared to cashback. So 1.25 cents per point instead of 1 cent per point. Then the other ones here, you can add employee cards at no additional cost. Business expense reporting tools come built in with the online management software. And then of course, no foreign transaction fees when you transact outside of the US. Also being a Visa, this card is great for that. You'll also receive a bunch of fantastic insurance protections here. These are the ones for travel, namely trip cancellation and interruption insurance, all the way down through roadside dispatch. There are a lot of these here. So this is another screen to pause and look over. I put some of the main bullet points there in white, but a lot of terms and conditions do apply to stuff like this. So look at the full guide to benefits PDF online if you want to do so. Same thing here on the retail side. A lot of terms apply, but I put the main ones here on the screen for cell phone protection, purchase protection, and extended warranty. Let's answer a big question. Is the Chase Ink Business Preferred worth it? Well, if we're looking just at the offer alone, the answer is a huge yes. Even if you only spent exactly $8,000 and redeemed all your points for just cash back for $1,200, that's at least a 15% return on all of your spend, which is amazing. But looking at this card through a more long-term perspective, this card can still definitely be worth it if you want a record-breaking, huge value welcome offer in the first year, if you want strong and useful triple point categories, if you want points that are good for cashback and exceptional for travel, if you want excellent insurance protections, and if you have other Chase cards that earn Ultimate Rewards points. Because yes, you can pool them all together, including the ones from your Freedom cards on the personal side, then move the points over to the Ink Preferred side for the redemption and get access to the 25% boost and all those transfer partners as well. However, the card will likely not be worth it for you long term if you don't value those triple point categories, if you don't like cards with annual fees, and if you're over 524, meaning you've opened 5 or more cards across all issuers and banks that appear on your credit report in the past 24 months. A cool secret though is that although you need to be below 524 to apply and get approved and open the account, once you open it, your 524 account will not be increased. So let's say you're 424 now, get the Ink card, open it up, and you're still going to be 424 after. With all that said, if you'd like to learn more about this card, the offer, the benefits, or how to apply for it, check out the link down below in the description area. That way you'll be able to hopefully snag this offer if it's right for you before it goes away, because it is for a limited time. I've already got mine, so the question is, are you going to be next?